Hey guys, my name is Nikki Whiting, and I have been a coach for almost 5.5 years. For those of you who don't know my story, I originally was a elementary school teacher. I actually got my undergrad in marketing and then went back to school and got my degree for K through 6 master's in teaching, and did that for a while and then decided to stay home with my daughter. And fast forward to 6+ years, and I have an almost 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and do this full time from home on part-time hours. And so what I wanted to share with you guys today is just a little bit about what the day in the life of a coach is at the rank that I'm currently in at, and also the year that I've been coaching, because it makes a very significant difference as far as what a day in the life looks like with your business, according to how long you've been working your business, where your business is as far as rank, how big your team is, all of those things. So you're going to see really it's going to vary. And what I was doing in month 1 through 6 is very different than what I'm doing in year 5. So to give you kind of a rundown of my day, my oldest daughter goes to school and my youngest does not. And I have a babysitter, which I've hired out Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. And the reason for that is because I wanted to be able to have a few days where I can get in solid work, and those other hours where I am absolutely dialed in as a mom. I didn't want to be spaced out everywhere. I didn't want to be checking my phone constantly. And with running a business on social media, you need to set those boundaries. Of course, I would rather be home and checking my phone every once in a while, earning an income and being home with them, versus not being home with them for hours every day, and then coming home and still having so much to do around the house and everything. So it's definitely a blessing. But with being just so plugged in, you want to make sure that you have those hours. So that's something that we teach within our team trainings and all that good stuff. But as far as a day in the life, it looks different for me. I like to fill the beginnings of my week, especially having a sitter on Mondays and Tuesdays, with more of the team call aspects, the one-on-one calls with my coaches, that sort of thing. So I'm going to take you through what a week in a life looks, and then a little bit of what the day in the life looks like. So on Sunday, I tend to sit down after we've had dinner and the kids are, bathed and in bed, and really kind of brain dump everything that I want to do for the following week, if I haven't already done that the previous week. And so I sit down, I open up my planner, and I think, when are my team calls? When am I going to be, checking in with my coaches? What do I want to share with my team this week? What kind of posts do I want to have on social media this week? What's my agenda? What is it that I'm working towards? And depending on that, that's how different my week is going to be. Once I've set up my week and what I plan to do, I usually dive in on Mondays and Tuesdays with all the team call stuff, and just really getting everything that I can out of the way, so that on the days that I don't have a sitter, on say Wednesdays and Thursdays, I can be present with my daughters, during the times that they're awake. And then in the morning, lunchtime, nap time, dinner time, pockets of time is what I like to call it, I work my business. And then on Friday, again, I can run some errands and finish up any kind of work stuff that I need to do. Now, a lot of my calls happen at night because people work at night, and so I want to be able to be available to them, and so I'll do that. And so a lot of my calls early on were geared around a nighttime calls, and I still do that very much. But I've also now figured out that I can have daytime hours. I can have normal hours and work during the day, and then unplug from carpool on. And I love that about this business. And so you can very much work this business getting full-time effects out of part-time hours. So I am very effective with my time. That's something else that I tell people, is you can sit around and scroll on social media for hours and then call it work, when really you've not done anything to kind of move the needle and move the pendulum forward. And so I really encourage my team to be working towards those business building and business moving activities. So we do things that are called power hours. And every single day, at least once or twice a day, I get in what's called a power hour. And during that time, I sit down on social media and I bang out all of my messages in my inbox on Instagram, on Facebook. I check in with my team in team pages. I go into our accountability groups, which are also run on social media, and I check in with challengers, give them encouragement and accountability, and just see how they're doing with their program. For example, we are on week 8 of Lift 4, which is our latest program. And so I will be checking in to make sure that people are going to be sharing progress pictures and seeing what their changes are and what tweaks do we need to make for the next round, or do you want to do a different program next round, and what do you want to do? So my job as a coach is very much holding my customers accountable so that they simply do the programs. It's not that I need to create a program or create the meal plans or anything like that. Thank goodness that's all done for us. Our job is the accountability side. And the way that it is switched from, year 1 coach to year 5.5 coach is the fact that now much of my business building activities are team driven because we have a large team. So I'm sharing how to duplicate what I'm doing daily, and I'm sharing what tools and tips and tricks are working within my business on social media, what is allowing me to move my business forward that would help my team also move forward. And so I try to stay like a 70-30 ratio as far as I do 70% tasks that move my business forward and 30% tasks that move my team's business forward. But again, that completely depends on the time of the month as well. Maybe we're making a big push towards the end of the month and I want to focus on team building things. So I'm going to put more emphasis, maybe 50-50, 50 on my business and 50 on the team aspect. But it's checking in with the team. It's having, it's growing my social media, because my social media, if you choose to grow on social media, then you need to be focused on social media growth, because you need a new following. You need a cold market. You need to be able to build those relationships. And if you exhaust your warm market and you're not working towards building a cold market and building those relationships, you're going to see a change in your business. You're going to see kind of a stagnant business after a while. And so those are other things that we're constantly teaching. I'm developing trainings. I'm hosting glimpse into coaching groups, these Snoop groups where you learn more about the opportunity. I am helping coaches advance and rank. Okay, let's look at your downline and see what you need to do to hit your goals. Just a lot of activities that are helping the team move forward. Tons of recognition. Every day, it's pretty exciting that I get to, eat well and work out. And that's part of like my checklist for my business. So it helps hold me accountable to be the healthiest I can be. And then I'm also moving my business forward by doing that, because I'm being a product of the product and I'm able to show other people that this truly works. So very basic things that I do every day. And then also it comes down to things like team calls, where I'm sharing with Instagram all the things that help me move my business forward. I'm telling them how to grow their Instagram or how to grow their Facebook, or, how to answer messages, and that sort of thing. And the cool part, you can have the juice, is that I can do it with my kids. So I don't know of a better platform than direct selling or marketing when it comes to wanting to be home and create a very much full-time income on part-time hours with your family around. The compensation plan is set up for me. I don't have to worry about that. The programs are there. The meal plans are there. I'm simply learning how to build my team as best that I can and find success for them, because success for them means success for me, which means success for us. So while I do very much still do the month 1 activities, things like drinking Shakeology, eating well, working out, reaching out to people, growing social media, all of those things are going to happen across all boards. But then now that my team has grown, I am more training and sharing tools and tips that are working for myself or other people and sharing those with the team. So hopefully that gives you a day in the life. My day normally starts around the time I drop off for carpool. So that's around 8 a.m. However, in the summer, we weren't on that program. So I started at 10 a.m. and that was completely fine because I was building my business the way that I wanted to. I worked my butt off in those first few years so that I could create whatever calendar that I wanted to. My schedule could look however I want to. So I started at 8 a.m. and I usually go and I will knock out my inbox messages. I will add some people on social media and growing my network, giving people welcomes on or happy birthday, on social media, going into my team pages and making sure I've welcomed everyone that's new to the team or answered any questions they have, making sure that I'm getting team calls up so that people can hop on those and get the best information that they can from other coaches that are successful in the network. And then I usually go on to, working out and sharing on social media a tip or a post. I read personal development. That's things you're going to do across the board as a brand new coach or a coach that's on year 5. And then I tend to, after that, go to carpool. And I go to carpool, pick up my daughter, and then I can be right there and plugged in to her and her needs and basically in maintenance mode of my business. And at that point, I'll come in at night and answer messages and just kind of make sure that I'm on track to start the next day the same way. But it's very much like work on yourself and be a product of the product, and in turn, things are going to happen in your business. And that's where the simplicity of it that I loved. And I also love helping people find success. So I love to share what's working for me in hopes that it'll work for them as well. I could go on about so many different ways that I build my business and what it looks like, but for the most part, that is a day in the life or a week in the life of a coach that's 5 years into the business. Hope that you guys are enjoying this group, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.